Hello, everyone. Great to see you as always. Welcome to our today's talk, which is exclusively dedicated to building e-commerce layouts. I'm Mary. I lead content and brand here at Netguru, and I'll be spending the next 30 minutes or so with Karina Graj, senior product designer here at Netguru. Hello, Karina.
Hello, Mary. It's a pleasure to be here.
Super happy for this episode because we don't usually build things hands-on during our disruption talks, and this is what we're gonna be doing today, as promised. Before we start off, I just want to let you know, everyone in the audience, that you're totally invited to ask your questions. You can post them right here in the comment section, and Karina will answer them. We're going to be answering them after the episodes, just so we can go on with our agenda. So, Karina, we're meeting here today because not so long ago, your team, our design team here at Netguru, launched something super cool. This cool thing is called Silk, and it's supposed to smoothen out designers' work on a particular area. I don't want to talk too much about it because this is not my baby, this is your baby. So if you could tell our audience what is Silk and why we build it in the first place.
Right. So Silk is a design system that now lives in Figma community. You can download the design counterpart and play with it yourself, even alongside this episode as we build things together. So it's a design system which is kind of in between systems that are very complex and that allow to create a bazillion of themes, and something that is very simple and dedicated for one product only. So it's a design system with a sweet spot, which has a very low entry level, because we built it also as a tool for our designers to learn design systems, to get better at design systems. So it is a design system. It is a special one. It allows for a certain flexibility. We are going to see it in the video.
And if I understand correctly, it's like perfectly suited for e-commerce.
Yes, there is. That's a very, very good question. There is a particular section dedicated specifically to e-commerce, and we will be working with those elements today. As every design system, Silk comes with all those standard components like buttons, input fields, tooltips, you name it. But there is also this higher level. We call it e-commerce patterns, which is a set of predefined layouts, organisms, different types of things that speed up the creation process. Some decisions are already made. Some decisions are left for the user to make. Yeah.
I'm wondering, just to, they say there are no stupid questions. Why did we do it in the first place?
Well, because building things is fun. One of the things that I love about working at Netguru, and I've been here for over 5 years, is that designers here are really passionate. So it happened that very many people were interested either in sharing their knowledge about design systems. We have some really amazing experts, and there were also others who were interested in learning. So this partnership created a perfect opportunity to explore design systems, to share best practices, to discuss and argue, and come up with our own solutions. So that's the root of it. But of course, at the end of the day, we all have to work on client projects, and this is where all the work that we do backstage really pays off, because having Silk and being fluent in it helps us make things faster.
I think it's important to underline, and we haven't said it yet, Silk has been launched as a free tool, as a free UI kit, right? So anyone here in the audience can just click download it and work with it, just like you will be in any second. Yeah, I guess no more talking. Let's just jump straight to screen sharing and tell us what you're going to be up to.
Right. So I'm gonna share my Figma. Let me do all the clicking. Here we go.
What are we looking at?
Right. So we are inside a project of an imaginary e-commerce, meaning a shop, a website where you can buy things. A project that contains both my design file. So this is Silk Ceramics store. This is our store where we sell tableware, cups, things like that. This is where the design will happen. Then we also have the design system file, which is the file that you can download from Figma community. Here I renamed it. It's very important because it helps to find the file later. So I renamed it Silk Ceramics Store, as in silk, but specifically for this product. And there are also phosphor icons, which is a set of free icons. We are not authors of it, but it's available under Creative Commons, and we use it as our main source of icons in Silk. So having these three elements in my project folder, I'm ready to start.
What are we going to be building? So you said a ceramic store, but what part of it exactly?
So I chose a very specific part, which is a product category page. So we are going to look at one category and different products which are listed inside this category. Of course, it's a demo. Normally, we would have a little bit more context, but to make it more tangible, I prepared sort of requirements. It's like a written down step-by-step wireframe guide, which names all the sections that we are going to build. From header, breadcrumbs, intro, some quick links to the most important part, product grids, and then some supplementary elements, like maybe features, collections, suggested items, and the footer. So a very simple structure.
Typical product category page.
Right. So we've said it's going to be a website, which means it should adapt to different viewports because you can see it on mobile, you can see it on your computer, on your tablet, on your TV, if you like. So we need to choose a good grid that will be suitable for that. In Silk, we have a page called Grids. You can see it at the bottom here. We have prepared a step-by-step explanation how to apply those grids, how to build them yourself. But for the purpose of this, and this is actually how I very often work, I'm just going to choose something from the examples here because that's way faster. So what I see in those examples is that, okay, grids can be centered or they can be left aligned. They can also fill the page. And then I have some options when it comes to the size of the grid. So I can have very small gutter and a very small margin. I can have very small gutter and medium margin. I can have very small gutter and large margin. And then I can have also small gutter, medium, and large. I'm just going to take this guy here because it really represents well how I want the navigation to behave in the context of the grid. So I want the navigation to be kind of independent of the grid, and I want my grid to fill the entire page. So I'm just stealing it. And I'm going to rename it to product category. And you can already see here that we have the header and navigation part partly covered. So we can start with that.
There's a default header you can work with.
Exactly. Now, we need to customize it a little bit. First of all, we don't need the icon here, which allows for expanding and hiding side navigation. We won't have that. Then the icons here don't really match what we need, and maybe search should be different. So let's click on it and see the details of the component. It might look a little overwhelming, but after a minute of clicking, you'll get it. So has lead, okay, this hides and shows this element. I've mentioned we don't need side navigation, so I'm going to hide this one. Logo, we could swap it with any other logo. Let's say we keep it, let's treat it as our store logo. Main part, oh, this one we definitely need. I don't like the search. And now I want to customize those elements here. In the brief, I see that I have search, favorites, profile, and cart. Profile and cart we already have. So we just need to change the search. So instead of envelope, we get a magnifying glass, and instead of the bell, we get a heart. Done. Now, I'd like this one to be centered. So I'm going to do some fixes on the auto layout here. I could also make those changes directly in my system and republish it, but for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to stick to this quick and dirty option. And let's rename the items. Thanks to the powerful rename feature, we are going to change it. Oh, by the way, I also want those guys to be expandable. So I'm just going to click has nested items to change them to something that can have a dropdown. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Would you say that these options, that everything that you're working with now, are will be quite intuitive to the user?
They should be. We are very consistent with how we name things, how we structure our properties, and also we are working on a manual, on a guideline, how to work with Silk, how to expand it. So I see people getting fluent with it after a couple of hours. Right, so the next section is breadcrumbs and intro. Breadcrumbs is a component, so I should be able to just go to assets and search for it. Breadcrumbs, here they are. So this is my breadcrumb component. And what is my path? It's tableware, dinnerware, cups and mugs. So let's put them here. I don't need the third, and I don't need the fourth. I also don't need the icon. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put them in here. By the way, let's adjust this margin. It's small. I would prefer to have it a large margin with a medium gutter. Okay. And let's change the margin here. As you can see, even though I started with a predefined set of grids, now I'm adjusting it on the fly. Right, let's wrap this guy in some wrapper to create more space. I am using variables for spacing consistently, which is a good practice and I recommend it. Here I'm going to remove any extra spacing. So I have better control over what's happening. I see there is also this one, which I also don't need. Perfect. So we have breadcrumbs. Now we want the intro. We have a title and description. So this is going to be our next section. It's crumbs, right? Title and text are not components. So these are things that we will have to make ourselves, style ourselves. So we have title, which is cups and mugs. Let's do it. And for that, I want a style. So I choose from typography styles, the way you probably are already familiar with the style that I want to apply. So H1 it is. Perfect. So that's it. And then I want also my description, which I'm going to style with a different style. So we had H1, and this is going to be, let's say, paragraph 2 soft. We already are here. Let's make sure the colors are right. I'm searching for text color, and I'm choosing tertiary. So it's softer. And for this one, I'm searching for text color title. Let's put them in a container, which fills the whole thing. And
just a note from me, Karina. I think your microphone is catching some of the moves on the keyboard. Sometimes more dramatically. So yeah.
That's interesting. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to control it. I will try to be softer with my clicks. I'm going to keep it as it is now. It's kind of dirty, as you can see. When we will go to the mobile part of work, we will see how to adjust it so that it is more mobile friendly. So
already looking good though.
Okay, let's turn off the grid for now and let's change the background color of everything. I actually want it to be pure white color, which for us in Silk is surface base. Here we go. Now is the interesting part. We get to subcategory quick links. There are many ways to present quick links. The one I want to use here is to actually use thumbnails of those subcategories. So we can jump into this part of e-commerce patterns that I advertised before. We have product grids section here, which gives us lots of options. We have some sections, some galleries with horizontal scroll. You can see they are planned for all breakpoints, showing a large and small extremity here. There are classic grids, so no horizontal scroll here. Items are placed next to each other, and we have also list version where items are from top to bottom. I already know this, so I know that I like this one, and I want to use it for my thumbnail section. So I'm gonna go here, whoopsies, and paste it where I need it, adjust the spacing as needed. We don't need extra margin here, and make it fill. It already comes with a scroll bar. Now, the funny things that we have here are cards, which are adjustable. they themselves have lots of options. For example, this one has a badge, a title, and there are also options to change this badge if I need. For this purpose, I don't really need this new one, so I'm going to hide it. And I'm going to rename all the items.
And you can do it in a batch nicely.
I do it in a batch. Perfect. You can already see that some behaviors are written as part of this. So this is truncated. You could change it on a component level if you don't like it. These are, of course, image placeholders. We will talk about images later on. So we're done with quick links. Now we jump into the actual grid, so the actual items in this category. This is the interesting part. I'm going to skip the controls for now. Let's focus on how the products are presented. So back to this page. For a product grid, I would like to choose a more classic layout where everything is clearly visible. So I'm just going to copy this one. As you see, it's not actually a component. It is just a pattern that you copy. Only the items inside are components with different properties. And here we go. Again, removing extra margin and setting it to fill. Oh, by the way, this is so small. I'd like it to be larger. Oh, look, everything adjusted. That's very nice.
Do you often talk to yourself when you design?
I think this is the talk that I have in my head. No, I don't vocalize it.
I do the same anyways when I do copywriting, exactly the same.
You know, while working from home, we can get quite lonely now.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm going to remove those things that we don't need anymore that come from the template. And here we have this grid. Let's understand the cards in it. I will pull this one out so we can see it better. It consists of many options. It has eyebrow text, which can be used, for example, for a name of a brand or author of the art piece that you are presenting in your shop, or if it's a multi-brand, maybe it's the name of the brand. Item, description, discount, price details, options, and action button. It's pretty easy. It just hides and shows things. For the purpose of, and of course, a badge. We talk about the badge. For the purpose of this, I'm going to select all of them and apply the same properties. So I don't want any of them to have special hover effects. We'll talk about them later. Maybe not a badge. Eyebrow we will keep, and this will be the name of the artist who paints the ceramics. Perfect. Name, we keep the name. We will have description. Nothing is discounted. Price details not necessary. Rating we keep. No options, but we do action button. So now we have all our cards ready to fill with content. Let's do images. I'm just selecting directly an image and uploading one from my computer. I prepared them before. Hopefully, when you start designing your e-commerce, you already have your product shots done or generated, as in this case. It's going to take a moment, but I want to fill all of them so it's prettier to look at. Because we also buy things when they are pretty, right? We have this bias that things that look good, of course, are usable and well designed.
Grab attention, definitely.
Grab attention. Which one I haven't used? I think it's this one. Perfect. So we have the images. I'm going to quickly rename them also. This is just so the, oh, sorry, I did it wrong. This is to show you how the card behaves in its in other variants. So I'm going to take this one here to the side. This is something we are happy with for this page. I like those cards. Let's keep them like that. But maybe you need to repeat this card on some other page where it needs to be smaller. And look, all the properties are retained, including the name. The button changed its position, but it's still here.
It just adjusts on the fly to whatever you need it to be.
Exactly. So there are predefined options, but there are plenty, and each of them can be modified. We can even go deeper and maybe modify this one. If we don't like the ratio, maybe we need a smaller image. That can be also done. So it's pretty useful. Oh, another one. I've mentioned that we're going to talk about hover. So we also included a special thing in our card component, which is on hover effect. This is a very complex one. This is a simpler one. So if you have more images that you want to showcase, like for this one, I also have a shot of just the saucer or just the cup from the other side. This can be shown using the left-right icon buttons, so you can include that. I'm showing it as a teaser just to let you know that those components are very powerful, even if we don't go that deep. Right, so here we have this section. Let's say we don't want load more products. We want pagination instead. We want numbers. So I'm going to look for the pagination component, and I'm going to put it here. Perfect. Now let's add one more grid. And this is going to be for featured items. So we have this horizontal large one, and I'm going to place it here, again with fill. And I'm going to change it to the featured collections. So the same trick you've already seen, where I rename items. And then I could replace them with images as I please. Adjusting also the spacing. So maybe this needs a little bit more.
This is really simple. I believe it's very relaxing looking at you do it, honestly. Things
I'm
just
glad.
happen.
Right. So the two last items we have to cover are footer and controls. So filters and things like that. Footer also exists already in the library of silk. So let's just put it where it belongs. And it fills the page. And of course, you would need to update the content, but it's already here. I'm going to change the margin to large because for all the other things, we also chose a large margin. Is it so? 40, 40, 40. I don't know what broke, but I'm going to find out later. Right, so mobile, no? We need to have a look at how it behaves on mobile, and then we can talk also a little bit about the buttons and filters. So this is going to be extra small. You see, just by changing what I have in silk grids in appearance, it already changes all my margins. They used to be 40, now they are smaller, 16, adjusted to the mobile breakpoints. I'm going to change it as well, the width, and I'm going to change from the navigation option from desktop to mobile. And here we go. This guy needs to fill the content, and all of them also need to fill the content. Now I need to change those small ones from default to small. I am fixing things that don't work, which is very stressful live.
That's what happens in real life too, doesn't it?
Especially in real life.
Especially when you're on a tight deadline.
Yes. It did work before though, and I have things to prove it. That is breaking pretty hard now. I'm going to show you what I did before. And it worked quite well with this one. So I had this guy. And then it went to this one. But clearly, now it doesn't work.
We're going to have to trust you on that.
Thanks, Mary. Right, so I also mentioned working with these elements like that to make them responsive. When you change your breakpoint, which you can see here, these guys adapt their size to reflect the fact that on mobile we need smaller typography for headings. So there are a couple of things that, well, work or should work, like this one, which also, when set on fill, fills the page. You can see it here in our grids that each of those elements has a behavior already designed to make sure it behaves correctly across different breakpoints. This is what I was trying to make, no? And it didn't work.
I have a question. Since the product category page is basically built, how about colors and adjusting them?
Yeah.
Say I want a different palette. Does the silk allow me to quickly switch in between colors?
It does, of course. So here we are working with a default palette, which is this, we call it Blueberry. But we also have other palettes. You can see them in the colors section. You can basically swap Blueberry, which is this one, with any of other color ramps that we have here. And they should work perfectly because they are designed in a way that each color of the same number, so 500, 500, 500, retains the same contrast with the background. So this way the accessibility is always in place, which for us in Europe is particularly important. And I can show you some examples. So I have some small proofs of concept. This is built with silk, and the only thing I changed here was the colors. So instead of blueberry, we got the red color. I didn't even change typography. So this is also silk, even though it doesn't look like on the first glance. And then I have another one, which is more customized. Here you can see I changed the color to green. The accent color is green. Also, the neutral is a little different to balance the green better. And I've also updated the typography. And in fact, those two concepts follow the exact same wireframe, but they are realized in a very different way in terms of visuals. And so this is also something that Silk allows. Don't think that your store needs to have cute teapots and purple buttons, because it can also have a very different vibe.
Is there something you'd like to highlight at the end of the episode? Anything close to your heart related to working with Silk? Or any special tip you'd like to leave our audience with?
Well, I think the most important part is to work in a way that is connected. So also how we work with Silk, we develop it, we change it depending on the needs. So let us know if there is something that you need, something that doesn't work for you. But also when you work in a team, don't force your standards, but try to educate people and maybe find the sweet spot that works for everyone.
Thank you. Looking at the time, we actually did what we promised in 30 minutes, minus the intro discussion we had at the beginning. So basically, we delivered on the promise. Thank you so much. I think the last message from you to our audience, the one about feedback, is very important, right? Like we are looking for feedback. Our designers are looking for feedback on Silk, so we know what we can add to it or basically make better in the future. This is a living organism. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any questions asked will be answered by Karina. And see you at the next talk. Thanks so much for today.
Thank you.